Jonathan Milam. I'm a Christian minister and evangelist out of Kingwood, Texas, just north of Houston. And I wanted to talk to you for just a moment about the pattern of New Testament Christianity. The pattern of New Testament Christianity. How are we supposed to take our message and reach our world? That's a very good question. I believe that God always has given His people a pattern as to how He would want them to act, what He would want them to do. When God was establishing His form of worship in the Old Testament, He took Moses up into a mountain and communed with him there for many days. And He spoke to him these words from Exodus 25:8. The Lord said, "And let them make me a sanctuary, that I may dwell among them, according to all that I show thee, after the pattern of the tabernacle and the pattern of all the instruments thereof, even so shall ye make it." And so God literally showed Moses a pattern. And then Moses' command was, do what you've seen. Make what you've seen. Very simple. God didn't leave any guesswork. In fact, apparently there was a spiritual tabernacle, which Moses might have been privy to seeing, and the earthly tabernacle was fashioned after this. And so, as God said twice, the pattern that I'm going to show you, use the pattern that I'm going to show you. And then later on in that same chapter, He said, "And look that thou make these after their pattern, which was showed to thee in the mount." So God gave a pattern. He counseled Moses, I want you to follow the pattern that you've seen. When we get into the New Testament, we see Jesus as our pattern. When He came into cities, there were frequent things that happened. Of course, there was teaching, there was ministry, there was wisdom. And this much the New Testament church emulates. We follow the pattern of solid teaching. The problem that I have is there were also other elements of Jesus' ministry that really attributed to the crowds following Him. One of these was His authority over evil spirits. And secondly, His miraculous healing ministry. Had Jesus merely come into a place and spoken, it would have been magnificent, because, as He said, one greater than Solomon is here. So His wisdom would certainly have been majestic had it been alone, but it was not. There were signs and wonders that were a part of His ministry. And I believe that the ministry of Jesus is the pattern of the New Testament church. When He sent out 70 disciples, they came again rejoicing, saying, "Even the demons are subject unto us." That wasn't to be the premier aspect of their ministry. And Jesus counseled them. That's not the biggest thing, but nonetheless, it is an important thing. How important is our authority over the demons that inhabit our world? Well, when Jesus was concluding His earthly ministry, His Great Commission, as He mentioned it to Mark, in Mark 16, and He said unto them, "Go ye into all the world, and preach the gospel to every creature." 2 verses later He said, "And these signs shall follow them that believe. In my name shall they cast out devils." The pattern is for us to have authority over demons. He went on and said, "They shall speak with new tongues. They shall take up serpents. And if they drink any deadly thing, it shall not hurt them. And they shall lay hands on the sick, and they shall recover." I'm not afraid or ashamed of any of these. And I know that part of these are a concern in Christianity. But when He said, "These signs shall follow them that believe, in my name shall they cast out devils," we should have authority over evil spirits. There are evil spirits in the United States, in men and women. There are evil spirits in Europe. It's not all relegated to the Middle East or to third world countries. Believe me, believers shall cast out devils. That's the command of Jesus. He went on and said, "They shall speak with new tongues." We need to embrace the full blessing of Pentecost in Acts 2 and Acts 8, Acts 10, and Acts 19. He went on and said, "They shall take up serpents, and if they drink any deadly thing, it shall not hurt them." I don't believe this is temptation, but I believe it is preservation. Should anything in the course of ministry rise up against us, we should simply triumph over that. We're not taking up serpents as a show, but if we take up a serpent inadvertently, as Paul did when he was gathering firewood, and it bit him, and those that were watching waited for him to fall immediately dead, but he did not. He was a believer, and he was preserved. And of course, the last passage says, they shall lay hands on the sick, and they shall recover. The pattern of New Testament Christianity is authority over demons. We need to see that in our American churches. It is the ability to see men and women healed miraculously, even as Jesus did, and made possible to us through his provision of himself at Calvary. And as well, the teaching and preaching. We see much teaching, much preaching in churches in America. My concern is we are not seeing authority over demons, and we are not seeing healing on the wide scale that we would. In fact, if we had authority over demons, we would have more healing. We have about 15 to 20% of our population, and I believe that would be a positive estimation, that are present in churches on Sunday morning. We need to do more than talk the talk. We need to do more than just speak and preach. What we need is a delivering ministry and a healing ministry. Then, and perhaps only then, will we see our churches full. This is the pattern that was showed to us through the ministry of Jesus. I hope you've enjoyed this. God bless you. Have a great day.